Now at 6, Fred Meyer workers are calling for shoppers to boycott the store after their union authorized a strike. We'll break down what the employees and company are saying about allegations of a gender wage gap. Plus,
there's been a few leaks. There's been one in my classroom, one outside of it.
Students at a Beaverton elementary school will have classes at a middle school tomorrow, all because of heavy rain and a leaky roof. How long those repairs are expected to take. And that rain is just a reminder that summer is over and fall is officially here. On the first day of the new season, we're asking how you feel about the changing weather in a brand new edition of Drew and You. Plus, switching out pain pills for a soothing alternative.
We are pretty far advanced if you talk about virtual reality, hypnosis, and use of inhaled nitrous.
How the Oregon Burn Center is using those tools to help patients relax and recharge without opiates. KGW News at Sunrise starts right now.
And we start with a live look out at Stoller Family Estate in Dayton, where very cool clouds are kind of overhead. Not a lot of rain out there compared to yesterday because it is the first official day of fall.
That looks black and white.
Yeah, it's dark.
We got an hour to go before sunrise.
Yeah.
So
You know, KGW as a company recognizes 8 holidays. Apparently Rod Hill thought one of those holidays was the first day of fall.
And why
because the
not?
dude took the day off. Where's he
Good
at,
morning.
Chris?
I'm not sure where Rod is. We'll have to ask him tomorrow. But in the meantime, I've got your bus stop forecast. So let's get you out the door. Waking up to some patchy fog. And the more the sky clears, as Nina pointed out, we've got some breaks in the clouds. The more the sky clears between now and sunrise, the more that fog will become a little bit more widespread. Partly cloudy this afternoon, though, highs in the upper 60s. Quick look at Futurecast here. I do bring in some wet weather again tonight. We'll break that down in more detail coming up in just a few minutes. First, Lacey's got your traffic.
Thanks, Chris. And this is a live look I-84 at Lloyd Center. We're seeing some on and off slowing as you approach the I-5 split, but you can see things are moving along fine at the moment. The other slow spot is I-5 southbound up in Vancouver. Wanted to show you the interstate bridge we are seeing. There we go. You can see it is crowded I-5 southbound as you make your way over the interstate bridge. So our drive time is about 9-10 minutes coming in from Hazeldale.
Boy, a really scary incident at Vancouver Mall. Police say a man tried to kidnap a teenage girl and threatened to kill her. That man will be in court a little later this morning. Police say on Saturday, Stephen Hayes approached the 14-year-old at a store and grabbed her. They say he tried to drag her out, but she fought back and ran off. People who saw what happened chased Hayes and held him until police could arrive. The victim's father posted this on Facebook, calling this a nightmare and thanking those who helped his daughter. He tells us he'll be at today's court appearance and will make another statement then. Police say Hayes has been convicted of kidnapping before. In 2015, we reported that he tried to kidnap a young girl at a Vancouver Walmart. Police say she got away and he was arrested after running from the store. According to the Columbian newspaper, he was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison for that case.
All right, we mentioned at the top of the hour, today is the first day of fall, but we have already seen our fair share of rain this month. And the combination of recent rain and a leaky roof has left a big mess for at least 3 different locations across the Portland metro area. So we're going to start with West Tualatin View Elementary in Beaverton. More than 350 students and staff there will have to move to another school tomorrow because rain has ruined the $1.4 million project to replace their school's roof. Water leaked through, it soaked ceiling tiles, ruined some of the school's carpeting. There was even fungus growing in some of those classrooms. So the decision was made to move out of the school for the time being.
The air sample quality test had not come back saying there was a problem with the quality of the air, but we felt it was the right decision just to focus and be able to get work done as quickly as possible.
So tomorrow morning, those kids from West Tualatin View will go to the district's new middle school on Northwest 118th. That's about 2.5 miles away. And the plan is for kids and staff to return to the elementary school at the start of November.
Meantime, rain damage also forced a North Portland coffee shop to close last week, and the owners don't know when they'll open again. This is Two Stroke Coffee Company. Rain started to leak in Sunday, causing this big mess. The owners tell us a faulty roof repair job is to blame. A GoFundMe page is up right now to raise money to cover employees' lost tips. And the same story at Kachinka in Southeast Portland. It's been shut down for 2 weeks now after the restaurant flooded. The owners say contractors were working on the roof when the rain hit and they didn't seal it properly. The restaurant is expected to stay closed until at least November.
Let's try this one more time. Hey, Sparky. Come on, buddy. You almost got this.
Oh, you hear the cheering there. Firefighters in St. Helens helped that deer that got stuck in a tank of water at a treatment plant. Firefighters were able to reach the deer with a ladder and got it to climb out somehow. They don't think the deer was hurt.
All right, so it begins. A traffic alert for you. A major improvement project to the Max Blue Line in Gresham is now underway.
And TriMet is saying we should expect the project to add about 15 minutes to our commute. It's all because over the next 2 weeks, TriMet is shutting down stops between Ruby Junction and Cleveland Avenue for improvements. Shuttle buses are going to service that stretch about every 5 minutes during peak commuting times, but don't think this just affects Max riders because drivers will also see road closures at several intersections, including Eastman Parkway.
It's a big project in a small time frame, and we're trying to maximize as much as possible what we can do during this 2-week period.
Again, the project is expected to wrap up October 5th. You can find more details about this at KGW.com.
Okay, let's get to some national headlines in your morning rush. Opening statements start today in the trial of a former Dallas police officer. Amber Geiger is accused of shooting her unarmed neighbor in his own apartment. Geiger said that she went into the wrong apartment thinking it was hers and shot 26-year-old Botham Jean thinking he was a burglar. Geiger was arrested 3 days later and fired from the Dallas Police Department. More people have died from a rare mosquito-borne virus that causes brain infections. It's called Eastern Equine Encephalitis. Several states in the Northeast have reported cases in recent weeks. The latest deaths occurred in Connecticut and Massachusetts. Health officials there are warning people to stay inside after dark when mosquitoes are most active. President Donald Trump has arrived in New York for the United Nations General Assembly. He'll be there for the next 3 days. His focus today will be on making a global call to protect religious freedom. On Wednesday, he's scheduled to meet face-to-face with Ukraine's president, and a lot of eyes will be on this meeting after a controversial phone call between the two leaders earlier. We'll unpack this full story coming up in our next half hour. And a big shift in the 2020 Democratic race for president. For the very first time, Senator Elizabeth Warren is leading in a critical poll in Iowa. She's in a dead heat with Vice President Joe Biden. Bernie Sanders was the only other candidate to reach double-digit support. Nationally, though, Biden still leads Senator Warren. And thousands of travelers are stranded today after the collapse of the world's oldest travel firm. The UK's Thomas Cook folded today because of financial problems, canceling all its flights. Now the government is working to bring home more than 150,000 stranded British customers from all around the globe. And that's your morning rush.
Well, speaking of travel, experts say it is not too early to start thinking of those Thanksgiving plans. In fact, if you are going to be traveling, now is the time to book your flight. This week, you have a better chance at getting the hotel or flight you want at the best price, because after this week, yes, prices will go up. Experts also suggest if you're traveling to a big city, you might consider an alternative airport.
A lot of times these smaller regional airports have better flight times, less delays, and easier access to traffic to and from the airport.
So data shows that nearly a quarter of travelers will have booked their Thanksgiving flights by the end of the month. There is still time. AAA suggests you get things locked in by October 27th.